She cheated on me, I stayed with her, now I can't feel happiness. Hey. This is the story about my first and most recent relationship. Some background: it all started in January 2020. I was 15 at the time I met this girl, let's call her L. Elle and I had some past together. We used to go to the same kindergarten and the same table tennis training. Our feelings caught up quickly in a matter of a month. I had a job in my school as a DJ and I invited her to the party, and when I felt the time was right I played a romantic song to the whole school party. Everyone enjoyed it. I turned to her and asked her to be my GF. She said yes, and that's where I had my first kiss. Our relationship began, but because of her strict parents we were only allowed to meet on the weekends. I was okay with that, and at the first it felt like an eternity between those weekends. I thought that we were having a great relationship, and for the first time in years I felt happy and I was able to accept myself. Summer came. She misbehaved and her parents banned her from me and from all of her devices. I tried to reach out to her in the first couple of days. After that I just simply gave up because she was not able to answer. One day, about 2 weeks into the punishment, she texted me from her mother's phone. I texted back. I thought she was allowed to text me for that one time. Another 2 weeks passed and she got all of her things back. She went on a rampage. How I am the worst, how dare I not to call her or to be under her window at night. I just broke. I tried everything to get her back because I felt she was the one for me. She agreed to stay together after a month. I didn't really though anything of it. I was in the mindset of she really needed time to process. Half a year went by and she had a boy best friend, let's call him S. She tried to make me friends with him, which was kinda easy. I make friends easily. Once we went to a place together with the friend group where I met a friend of S. His name was M. At the hangout with them, S was really flirty with my GF and I had a harsh conversation about it with her, but I thought everything is alright and I trust her. About a week later M and I became good friends, and there was a point where L went furious about me because I liked one of my bro girls' picture and she wanted to break up. In the middle of this I was in a Discord call with M and he explained to me that when I had the big argument with L she tried to jump out of the relationship with S. I was in shock, didn't really know what to say. I felt betrayed, I felt angry. M explained to me that he held back S from getting together with L. I told M I don't want to hear the details. I thanked him that he told me this information, and I immediately called S for some explanation. He told me that they date when L and I were in a breakup situation and that they date daily with L for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I lost it. I called up L and screamed at her for an hour and a half. The next day I went to her place and wanted something from her, wanted to tell me why this was good, but I fell into her trap. She played the girl who got really hurt in the process, blamed me for all of what happened, that I was not treating her right when she wanted to break up, and I believed. One of my life's worst mistake. We continued. I tried to act like nothing had happened, but it was crushing me from the inside. I pushed my feelings away to try and make her fine, because at the time our friend group was the same and they pressured me that I was clearly in the wrong and that I'm a man and need to grow up and learn to care about my partner. I was broken, had nobody to turn to. I continued. I held everything together. About 2 years passed. I thought I fixed it all. The only thing was me who burned from the inside. We went to a party with my best friend and L. Before the party I asked her not to consume any kind of drugs because I am really disgusted from all of that. I grow up in a really bad neighborhood where these things were everywhere. I never used them and I never will. I hate those substances. They can turn everyone on their head and they will not notice it. At the party L consumed some amp and tried to hide it from me. She also smoked 2 Gs of Mary. She thought that I will never know, but I knew. I got really disgusted from her separating me from the good things that happened since then. I thought I can make it work again. I tried to do everything to stay with her, but my thought got worse and worse. I was not able to stand the pressure. I lost my feelings, everything went gray. I broke up with her. I missed her so much. One morning I went to her place and started to try again. It was not good for me once again. I know I played her. I never wanted to. I wanted to give her all that life can offer, but I lost my way. Now I'm back at the good track as I feel. I started caring about myself again. and if you who is reading this gets disturbed by it, I am sorry. I was just not able to hold it in myself any longer. I had to tell someone, now that my friends got her side and left me. Comnet. That's because you stayed. Staying with a cheater gives them permission to cheat again and again. Because you'll stick around. Lose the drugs. Everyone is saying it sounds like she smoked some pot, which I don't know where you live, but in my state in the U.S. is legal, so. But it does sound like she is very young, and it can stunt your growth in your mind if you start so young, but typically you have to smoke often and heavily. But it sound also a lot like my youth. I'm 38, okay, I don't smoke weed cause it give me anxiety/panic attacks, but my husband smokes, which I don't love, but it is certainly not the worst thing to be dependent on. We are all addicted to something. Question is it good for you? Pot. Meh, that's debatable. Plenty of my friends smoked in HS and don't now, or do and are stable and successful in life. I also have friends that went downhill and got into stronger drugs, including myself. I was doing heroin at one point. I'm lucky to be alive, honestly. I'm sober several years now. But I wonder about her parents. Is there any abuse in the home that you know of? There was in mine, but my parent being affluent and well-known success in community, anyone I tried to tell didn't believe me or couldn't do anything. My friends knew, close friends. If there's abuse, it's not your problem, but it could indicate she will get worse, possibly with drugs. She's running from something. Or just bored, but she sounds relatively unhappy. Her parents may be too hard on her, even though she needs discipline. It's all about what works for the family and child. Maybe they're not able to invest enough time in her. All my case, but I don't know. You could be a friend, make sure she seems okay when you see her, cause there's some dangerous shit out there. What is amp? Speed. Is it meth? Never heard of it. Hope she doesn't do fentanyl. Having said that, none of this is your problem. You are not responsible for her, but you can be a caring and decent human being and look out for her. I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for my sober friends. Just absolutely stick to your guns on no drugs for you, and if she's offering to you, especially all the time, she's no good, let her go. If she respects your non-use, and you think she might be hurting, keep a casual good friend look out for her when you see her. There are many more girls, get the experience. Maybe someday she will grow up and be what you need, but right now focus on loving and taking care of you, and possibly meeting someone else who wants to too. Don't completely abandon L unless she's trouble, and not being harmed. She's the enemy then. Smile and wave. When you see her in that case. It takes time, months even, but this awful feeling of heartbreak in your chest will pass. I've been in love many times. I thought my high school sweetheart was going to love me forever. Cheated on me twice. Had a baby with the second, now is onto a third. He hurt me bad over and over. It taught me a lesson, is all I can say. Some people are meant to be in our lives forever and some for a season. Maybe she's just your summer, your long summer. And don't worry about mistakes, you cannot succeed without making them along the way. Trust your intuition, it is usually right. Next story 2. GF cheated on my 2 and lied to me the first time. Me and my ex have been together for a year and 4 months. We meet last year in March. After 2 months we moved together, being pressed by the situation and her strict parents. She has still in high school at that time. After high school we decided that the best course of actions was for her to find a job so it wouldn't be so hard on my financially. After 2 jobs that didn't lasted more than a month, she found a job at a sports store. She was very happy about it cause we were working in the same mall, different stores. Our relationship wasn't always the best, we had a lot of fights and she had very wrong mentality. She cheated on her last boyfriend of 3 years, but I didn't pay much attention. Big mistake. In her first day she met to me in her break to tell me about her new job. That's when she started saying about a guy that works there who's funny like me but taller. Her words, for reference, I'm 1,70 and she's 1,75. He was the same height as her. I felt something wrong right there, but again I didn't pay much attention. After a few weeks things between us started deteriorating. She was cold and sneaky. She started lying a lot and would let me see her phone. She would go out with her friend from work only to meet with him, and I found that one day when she said she is going to have a coffee with her girlfriend, only for me to see all three of the at the same table after I told her not to speaking with him anymore. I has fed up from all the arguing and her sneaky attitude, so we were more like roommates after a while. Then one day we had a big fight about her not showing me her phone. That's when I had enough and slapped her. That was wrong and I know it, but I felt something was wrong, I couldn't hold it. That's when everything started. She left from home to meet with her girlfriend and I got myself ready for work. In the evening I started packing her things cause I knew something was up. She got home and started telling me how she lied to me, how she told me that she was home or at her grandma only for her to be with him in his car driving around, how she texted with him when I was sleeping, how she slept with him, how she meet with him right outside my workplace. That thing destroyed me. I was at the ground emotionally and I kicked her out. Thing got messy with both our families finding out and a lot of problems. After a few days she wanted to meet and as an idiot I did go there. She apologized, lied to me that she didn't sleep with him and that she said those things only to destroy me, and I forgave her. She promised she wouldn't cheat and she wouldn't lie, after which I took her back and everything was okay for a few weeks. Then the attitude began. Our fights were more intense this time. A lot of hurtful words were spewed by both of us, and that lasted till a few weeks ago when I caught her talking to another guy and had a big fight. This was 8 months after the cheating with her coworker and her changing her job. I kicked her out again, and that's when the truth started to come out. She really slept with the first guy, and not once but twice. She went to see him shortly after we got back together so he wouldn't tell me the truth. Then she had gone a few weeks prior to this last breakup to speak with her ex about us and how I was overreacting about her speaking with another guy, and I repeat, she didn't told me she was going. She lied to me even then, and that was a week after my birthday. She considered cheating only the sleeping together part, not the other part. I'm ruined. What can I do? I don't know what to do. She wants me back, saying that she changed, but I don't love her anymore. I love the image that I had of her being pure. What to do? Can she change? Or nah? Sorry for this long story, but I had to get it off my chest. Comment. Physical violence against your partner is never okay. If you feel you can't control yourself in these situations, seek professional help. That being said, you're both toxic, so end this charade already. I know we are both toxic and the physical violence was never something I wanted. Everything started a few months before the cheating. She started getting very aggressive, like slapping me and commenting in public to belittle me, and the moment when I lost control was in the morning after I asked her to show me her phone, and she got very defensive and started doing something with her phone in my face, then saying I can look everywhere I want cause she didn't delete anything. And in the morning when I confronted her, she started getting aggressive, throwing things, screaming, and she even ripped my t-shirt of me. That was the moment when I lost it. I don't get angry, I always laugh when there is a problem somewhere to ease the tension. Man, what are you doing to yourself? Reread what you wrote. I can't find one word describe you were here. Taking her back cause she said she changed. LOL, you know better than that. You even wrote she cheated on her ex. Get your shit together, man. Go for your life and leave this addictive cheater called girl.